What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, Talking with Viewers, episode 172, college news. And on today's episode, we're talking about just college football. We got things from Florida State upset to top 25 picks and our underdog pick for the weekend. So let's get straight into it. So yes, college football is the only topic we're talking about today in the college sports news. So let's start off. Penn State announcing that they are moving from Nike to Adidas. The first time they'll be moving from Nike in 32 years. Very surprising, in my opinion. I think Nike is a superior when it comes to college sports over Adidas, but Adidas is getting some big names. They're getting now Penn State and Tennessee to be their apparel guys. Big surprises, yes, in the long terms. It's just a logo on a jersey. It's not going to be the end of the world. Penn State also doesn't do anything special with their jerseys. They're a blue or white jersey with either blue or white numbers. That's it. It's not going to change anything from moving over to Adidas. It's going to be the same thing, just a new logo on the front of the uniform. Florida State was fined $50,000 for the field storming of Week 1 after beating number 8 Alabama 31-17. First off, huge win for the Seminoles. Seems like the Seminoles are back. They were 2-10 last year. This upcoming season, though, already started the season 1-0 in the top 25 rankings, which is no surprise there. Alabama, what are we going to see from them the rest of the year? I don't know. Under the tenure of Nick Saban, they only lost 4 games versus unranked opponents. Already with Kalen DeBoer, they've already lost 4 games against unranked opponents. And he's only been there a year and some change. So I really do not think Alabama is what I expected them to be. And I don't think it's going to get much better for the Tide. For the Seminoles, on the other hand, I think they're going to look pretty good moving into the next phase of the season. I don't think they're a top contender in the ACC, but I definitely think we're going to have a better season coming from Florida State. Definitely worth keeping an eye out on for sure. Now, with that being said, let's head into the rest of the Week 1 scores. We'll start off with Tarleton State upsetting Army in double overtime, 30-27. Yes, it's not really a two matchups that I really would talk about, but FCS school being an FBS school is always worth talking about. Also, Tarleton State was getting paid $25,000 to come in and play them. They go home with the win and the big bag of money there. Kennesaw State just missed out a chance on upsetting Wake Forest. They lose 9-10. Baylor ended up losing to Auburn at home 38-24. Georgia Tech goes into Colorado and beats them 27-20. Central Michigan ends up holding off San Jose State 16-14. 2 missed field goals in the last 5 minutes from the Spartans. So they had chances, but the Chippewas get the win. And then we head into Saturday matchups. Number 1, Texas went to number 3, Ohio State. And the Buckeyes win that one in a defensive battle, 14-7. LSU goes into the other Death Valley. It's Clemson Tigers, and that was a close game as well. 17-10 win for the number 9 team in the nation, the LSU Tigers. North Dakota, not North Dakota State Bison, North Dakota, the hockey school, the team that no one really talks about when it comes to football, ended up going to Manhattan, Kansas, and just losing to number 17 Kansas State, 38-35. Almost had 2 big upsets for FCS schools in the Week 1, so really good performance by North Dakota, though. Merrimack ended up losing to Kent State 21-17. Why am I talking about this? Kent State ended up getting their first win since September 16th of 2023. So congrats to the Golden Flashes. I don't expect you guys to do really anything there, but hey, getting a win after a really bad couple of seasons is a good positive there. 1-0 to start the year for the Golden Flashes. Idaho ended up losing to Washington State on the road 13-10. Cal beat Oregon State 34-15. Utah smoked UCLA 43-10. On Sunday, Notre Dame and Miami faced up against each other, 10 versus number 6. Miami holds off, gets the win 27-24. And lastly, the Bill Belichick debut in college, North Carolina hosting TCU. They got smoked. The most points given up by a Bill Belichick team ever. 48-14 win for the Horned Frogs. Big win for the Frogs there. I do not know what to expect from Carolina. They looked super bad. I expected them to get maybe 7 or 8 wins, get to a bowl game this year. At this point, they look awful. I don't know if 6 wins is really even possible for this team, but there's a long season left, 11 more games to go for the Tar Heels, so I guess we'll see what happens there. All right, let's head in the top 25. But we got a brand new number 1. Ohio State gets a +2 to number 1. Penn State stays put at 2. LSU gets a +6 to 3. Georgia gets a +1 to 4. Miami gets a +5 to 5. Oregon gets a +1 to 6. Texas drops 6 to 7. Clemson drops 4 to 8. Notre Dame drops 3 to 9. South Carolina gets a +3 to 10. Illinois gets a +1 to 11. ASU gets a -1 to 12. Florida gets a +2 to 13. Florida State goes from unranked to 14. Michigan gets a -1 to 15. Iowa State gets a +6 to 16. SMU gets a dropped 1 to 17. Oklahoma and A&M stay put at 18 and 19. Ole Miss gets a +1 to 20. Alabama drops 13 to 21. Tennessee gets a +2 to 22. Indiana gets a -3 to 23. Texas Tech gets a -1 to 24. And Utah goes from unranked to 25. The dropouts this week was Kansas State from 17 and Boise State from 25. Other receiving votes, BYU had 102, Auburn 94, Georgia Tech at 67, USC at 64, and lastly Louisville at 59. All right, let's head into the underdog picks. Last week, I had Hawaii trying to cover the spread against Arizona. That backfired big time. Arizona winning that one 40-6. This upcoming week, I try to bounce back with Kansas at a +6.5 versus Missouri. That's at 12:30 p.m. on ESPN2. I actually think Kansas is a better team than a lot of people are kind of giving them. Jalen Daniels is a really good quarterback. I think what they did last week against, I believe, Fresno State was pretty impressive at home. I think going to Missouri is definitely going to be hard. I think they keep it close. They're going to keep games close this season, whether they win those or they lose them. But it's going to be a pretty solid game for the Jayhawks. I got them actually winning outright, though, in this game against the Tigers. All right, since we're just talking about college football, it's the games to watch for the whole weekend. All games will be on Saturday for the upcoming 4 games that I've noted. The game day site, number 15 Michigan versus number 18 Oklahoma. Should be a pretty solid matchup. The only matchup that we have top 25 teams going up against each other this weekend. We also got Iowa versus number 16 Iowa State, Baylor versus number 17 SMU, and Kansas versus Missouri. Those are going to be your top 4 games to watch this upcoming weekend. Obviously, a lot of good games will probably happen, but just looking at the numbers, these are the top 4 games to circle on the calendar. All right, guys, that would do for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. 172 episodes in the books. This one was all about college football. The next one, which is going to be coming out very soon, if not already out for you guys, episode 173, it's going to be all about the pro sports news of the world. So, got MLB, got NFL and Week 1 talk. You got some NHL jerseys that we're going to talk about, plus some NBA news that we typically do not talk about, but I'm excited to talk about the upcoming episode. So make sure you guys go check that episode out. Hit that that bell icon so you guys get notified when that one drops. Plus, the subscribe button. It's free. It helps us out. Grow the channel even more. We appreciate you guys so much. Have an awesome rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later.